Chosen vessels, what's the deal? It's your main man Druuill, and I'm back at you again with another video. Let's get right into it. All right, starting over may be hard and extremely difficult, but you always end up with something better as a result of having to. Let's get into it. All right, sometimes we have to start over in life. Sometimes we have to start over with something large, something big. Sometimes we start over with something small. All right, but whatever you start over with, don't worry about it because it's all God's plan. Sometimes we try to do things, sometimes we try to put our best foot forward, but we may not realize we're forcing it. Sometimes we need to just fall back and let God do his thing. All right, sometimes we just need to let God do what he's trying to do for us. And then once we get out the way, we could let him do what he's supposed to do. Then he'll get out the way, and then we can do what we're supposed to do after he gets things done for us. That's all we have to do sometimes. Sometimes we just have to fall back, take our hands off, and let God be hands on. All right. Sometimes you be hands off, let God be hands on. Because when you start over, you don't know what could happen. It is nothing wrong with a new start. It's nothing wrong with a fresh start. Sometimes what we thought we had was so great. Sometimes what we thought we had was so magnificent, so special, okay, that the thought of losing it is so frustrating. It's irritating. It burns your spirit up, burns your soul up, okay? Makes you want to clench your fist when you have to start over sometimes because you're just so angry. It's like I put so much time and effort into this and I gotta start over. I put a whole whatever into this, a whole hour, whole half hour, whole day, a whole year, a whole lifetime, and I've put years into this, and you telling me I gotta start over? I'm telling you, it may be hard, it may be difficult. Who knows what I don't know what you may have worked up towards. I don't know what level you've reached. But I guarantee you, if you keep believing in yourself, even though you have to start over, no matter how hard it is, no matter how extremely difficult it may be, I guarantee you, if you keep a positive mindset, you will end up with something better as a result. It's all about how you view your situation. It's all about how you believe your life is going to go. All restarts aren't bad, okay? You know how sometimes you're playing a video game, you get to level 100 and the boss is so big, you only got one life left, hands are sweaty, okay? You slip and hit the wrong button. You're lost. You're so mad, you're so angry, you're so frustrated. If you didn't break your video game console, okay, you probably slammed something and got yelled at by quiet down in there. All right, y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, starting over is hard, but guess what? Just like in that video game, when you start over, when you don't give up, what happened? What happened when you went back and you had to start over at level 1? What happened? It was easier, wasn't it? Was it easier? You didn't give up and you didn't lose what you previously learned from getting to where you got. So starting over doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It could actually be a positive thing. You're not starting over on what you know. You still got the same level of experience. All you are is starting over where you're at. You're not starting over with what you know. So since you didn't have to mental reset on your life experience, all you have to do is mental reset on where you're at. Okay? All you have to do is have a mental reset on your view on life. All you have to do is have a mental reset on how you see things. All right? See starting over as a good thing. See starting over as something positive. So that way it will be a positive experience for you. All right? Even if it's hard, even if it's difficult, a lot of good things will come as a result. Okay? Now that you started over, you still have your same level of experience, just like in the video game. Things can be easier for you, depending on what you're doing. You may be doing something different. That itself may be hard, whatever it is that you're doing different. But life itself is going to be a little easier because you're not giving up. It's a different process, but it's still the same thing. You have to do something. You have to get over things. You have to get through things. You have to dedicate time to things. You got to allocate your resources properly. You got to use your time wisely. Okay. You still have to move forward in life and work towards some level of success. But starting over sometimes is one of the best things that could ever happen to you. Your situation may not look good, things may look bad, but you don't know what the future holds. You don't know what God has in store for you. So keep a positive mindset. Sometimes when you start over, you don't know what could happen. It could end up ending better than you imagine. Just because you start over doesn't mean you're going to die. Just because you start over doesn't mean it's the end of the world. All right, starting over can actually be a great thing. Every time I've ever worked on something, every time I've ever started a project, okay, sometimes I have a project, it'll be great. You forget to save it. It gets deleted by accident. You have to start over. It's very frustrating. It's very upsetting. You got to know that project. You fell in love with the project. Okay, you love that project so much. All right, that's one of your favorite. Say it's your favorite your favorite work that you've done thus far. But it gets lost. It gets deleted. You got to start over. You thought about what you were going to do with it. You thought about the impact it was going to have. You thought about how good people were going to love it, how good it was going to be to display it to people, how good you were going to feel to be the one who had created it. Yeah, all right. You were going to enjoy that. But now it's gone. You know how hard that is. You know how bad that, how much that hurts to have something, and it doesn't even have to be art. That could just be anything in life. All right. Say you worked up to a certain point, now you just lost it all, and you got to restart. It's difficult. It's hard. All right. It makes you want to quit, but you don't know. Every time I've ever had to restart, every time I've ever had to do something over, it always turned out better because I didn't quit. I didn't give up. I didn't freak out. And I was like, you know what? This is better than the original. I like this one better. I ended up putting more time into it. Sometimes God does that. Sometimes God knows we need to restart. Sometimes God knows we need to start over because maybe what we thought we loved, maybe what we thought was great, maybe what we thought we put our foot in. Oh, I did that. God said, no, you didn't. I know you can do better. I know you can create something better. There's better out there for you. All right? You're going to start over. You're going to do this, and it's going to get you something even greater. That's why sometimes God will have us restart. Sometimes that's why the universe will have us start over because it says, wait a minute, I see what you did, but watch this. I know you could do more. There's more out there for you. I want you to have something better. I want you to remake that because when you remake that, it's going to be greater. I want you to redo that because when you redo that, it's going to have more of an impact. It's going to be flyer. It's going to be cooler. It's going to get more attention. It's gonna get more people that are gonna be in love with it, more people that are gonna like it, more people that are gonna wanna support that, more people that are gonna wanna hear that. I see what you're doing. Let me make a miracle for you real quick. Redo it. God works in mysterious ways, right? You worked on that project 4 days straight. You stayed up every day. Every day, didn't get any sleep at night. Boom, deleted. God, what in the heck? I done spent 4 days working on this. I done spent a whole week working on this. I've been working on this for a whole month. I've been working on this for a whole year. Where's it at? It's gone. It's deleted. Guess what? All that time that you put into, that was just for you to build up your skill set. Because now God said, He sees where you're at with your skill level. You could create that in half as much time. You have to start over, but you don't lose your experience. Just like in a video game. But life is your video game. You lost your project, you lost your work. God said you got to restart, you got to redo something, you got to start over. But guess what? It's going to end up being better. It's going to end up being greater. It's going to get you a better result. Okay? God wants you to. God wanted it to be better. He knew you could do more. He knew you could put out something greater. All right. He wanted you to really tap into your ability. All right. So now, whatever took you a whole year, now it's only going to take you 5 months to create it, and it's going to be better. So what you really don't know sometimes is God is just making you develop yourself. What you thought was a great project, what you thought was everything that you needed, what you thought was your everything, that was just practice. Okay? Just like Drake said, that was practice. That was practice. That was practice. Okay? That was practice. God had you practice and get to a certain level to now you could just crank everything out. And he wanted you to know that. He don't want you to take a year working on things anymore. He wants you to know that you've developed yourself to the point where now you could bust things out and crank things out within 5 months, a half a year, 3 months, a couple months. God wants you to know that you could kick it up a notch. He wants you to know that you're better, you're faster, you're stronger, that you could put out more. Okay, he wants you to turn it up. He sees your true ability, just like Joseph saw in the Jackson 5. Just like Joseph saw the ability of his children, God sees that same ability in you. And just like Michael Jackson's dad beat them to get them disciplined and to whip them in shape. God will sometimes make you start over when you're working on something great, or make you start over in life when He knows you could do something great to whip you in shape. And when you overcome that, when you recreate what it is you got to recreate, when you redo what it is that you got to redo, it's going to be Michael Jackson. Okay, it's going to be so great. It's going to be it's going to have the power of it's going to have a Michael Jackson effect. Okay, I call it the Michael Jackson effect. You done worked on whatever you worked on. You done mastered your craft. You done perfected your craft, and now you're able to moonwalk it with your craft. Okay, you're able to moonwalk with your craft. Okay, you're able to take your craft to new heights because you done brought it to a level of where Michael Jackson took his craft, and he mastered his craft. He brought his skills to a level of perfection, and God used your start over. Just like Papa Joe used that belt on his children to whip them into shape, and God used that restart to whip you into shape. And just like now, Michael Jackson, after his dad groomed him to become successful, he's now just using his craft and using his mind and using his genius. God is doing that in the same way for you. God used your things to happen to you to mold you and perfect you. So now you could work your skills, and you could work your craft, and you could work your genius, and now you could put what it is that you put out into the world, and it'll be perfected. You'll be skillful with it. You'll be masterful with it. You will have mastered that. And that's what God will do to you sometimes. You may think it's a bad thing you have to start over, but it's actually a good thing because God was just using that to help you develop your skills. God was using that to test you. All right. Now He sees you're at the level. Get that bull crap out of here. Get that trash out of here. And you think that was the best thing since sliced bread. You think that was the most amazing thing you ever created. But no, God said you could do greater. God said you could do more, make something better. You think that's your level of skill? No, you could do better. I know you could do better because I put that in you. And that's what God will do sometimes. He works in mysterious ways. He wants to bring the best out of you, and He'll do that in whatever way He has to. All right, trust and believe it. All right, believe and receive it. Okay. I want to thank everybody for checking this video out. I want to thank everybody for hitting the share button. You know somebody needs to see this. You know it. You know it. Somebody need to see this. All right. I want to thank everybody for blowing up the comments. Show me some love in the comments. And I want everybody to hit that like button because the audience is going to grow and we need to grow. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching these ads because it helps the channel out monetarily. And I will see each and every person in the next video. Shout out to the Chosen Vessels. I know you guys enjoyed this DruuTube special. We out.